Hello, and welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition Chronicle, Vancouver by Night, New Blood. And my screen turned off. There we go. All right, I'm back. As a warning, this is a mature game and explores some dark and troubling themes. These may include body horror, gore, violence, loss of character agency, gaslighting, mind control, drug use, and many others. Our players have discussed consent and boundaries, and we collectively avoid situations that may be triggering. If the players will always let me know if anything gets uncomfortable by using the yellow and red card system in our private Zoom chat. If you as a viewer ever feel uncomfortable or triggered, please pause and step away. The streams are always going to be available on YouTube after the game. You can always come back to an episode when you feel ready. So, it's time to thank the sponsors. Thank you to Michaela Artoria of Artoria Designs, who created these beautiful dice boxes. And there's a bunch of dice ASMR going on in here. Please visit him on Instagram, and I'll have the link over there in the chat. Illuminagents. Illuminagents is a comedy web series that weaves real conspiracy theories into its sci-fi short-form episodes. It's shot in Toronto, and this indie production will leave you laughing and questioning reality at the same time. You can watch season 1, which includes the musical finale episode, and there's an episode with this guy right here for free on Sika.tv. Orc-Style. Orc-Style is an adults-only fantasy fetish fashion brand for all of you orc-loving monster huggers. Orc-Style shirts, underwear, and accessories are sure to drop your intelligence and increase your confidence by 10 points. They've also just released their Chompers Orc Tusks. Chompers are perfect for cosplay, roleplay, and streaming. Orc-Style's expert tusk enchanters infuse the spirits of great orcs, trolls, ogres, and goblins into magical tusks that will transform the common human into a fierce monster. And Martlet Games. Martlet Games is a collective of TTRPG veterans ready to work for you. From tabletop RPG development to actual play production. They've contributed to various Storyteller Vault titles and sponsored channels like us to keep the world of darkness a haven for those with stories to tell. Visit their link in the chat, and they can help to explore their world, and they can help you create yours. And DemiplaneRPG. Demiplane is an amazing resource that is super useful if you want to look up rules on the fly. You have all your books in one location. They're going to be having their player character builder soon. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it'll allow you to have like all the character sheets in one spot as a DM or a storyteller, and they already have it for Pathfinder, which is super useful. And yeah, check that out. Go to DemiplaneRPG. I'll have the link in the chat. And now, having said that, it's time to introduce our vampires. Let's start off in the regular position up here, because everybody's here today. Over to Michaela.
Hello, my name is Mikhaila Bethune, otherwise known as Cosmic Dazai. Tonight I will be playing the wonderful and lovely and totally not violent Zimitzi, known as Violetta Tremblay. You can't call Cap.
And Monica.
Hi, everybody. Monica Magana, aka Monica M underscore art here, ready to play your ever lovely and ephemeral Sophia, the Toreador of delight of this group.
And up here, Joanna.
Hello, my name is Joanna, and I will be playing your friendly neighborhood Ventru, Antonia. And Antonia is glad to be with this lovely group of non-violent, amazing.
Oh, sorry. I think your mic kicked out a little bit when you said kindred.
Very.
So all I got was amazing, and then it stopped. So next up is Chris.
Hello, I am Chris, aka D&D Imposter on all social media. I am playing Key, our lovely little ministry member, and the child Antonia definitely didn't want.
And last up is over here, Elaine.
Hello, my name is Alan, and I am playing the old man. You're not so friendly in the neighborhood, Nosferatu fixer, get it done, all around fantastic hang. And he will call Cap when he hears it. So
It's true. So, when last we saw the kindred you see on screen above you here, they were kind of doing their own things individually. They were going to see the collective, the Toreador art group with Braden, but there was something that Braden said that is piquing curiosity. There was the old man going to pay a visit to one of the Nosferatu that controls a lot of the other Nosferatu in the sewers. Well, not really controls, more just aims them in certain directions, kind of influences them. Key got some interesting news that Key's probably not going to share with the rest of the class. And Violetta had a conversation of sorts with someone dragon related. Let's put it that way. As for Antonia, what Antonia was doing during that time, Antonia was maybe Patreon related content, doing something else. You'll have to.
Preparing for Patreon related content.
Yes.
Antonia was having a conversation with a guy who knew a guy who could get Antonia an overnight flight somewhere.
She knows a guy who knows a guy. No names. So we are going to be picking up this particular episode on the next evening. So, you know what that means. That's rouse checks for everybody. Let's see.
But I don't like this.
rouse check.
Rouse check.
How many dice again?
Just a single blood dice.
I definitely don't like this.
You got a 50-50 shot, and Antonia is thumbs down. Looks like Violetta is thumbs up. He is thumbs up. Sophia is thumbs down. Oh.
Oh.
See, this is why I like setting up games with 5 players each. on screen. That way it's like you can't really do a 50-50 split right across the middle. Somebody has to weigh it in one direction or the other. So
I'm hungry.
the old man, since you just said something, you're volunteering to be first.
I just dropped my pencil. I'm sorry. I have to go.
For the old man, where does the old man generally sleep? We haven't really gotten a description of the old man's kind of sewer abode.
Right. Yeah. So, okay. So the sewer is meant to be confusing because of the way he hunts. His predator style is the trap door
Yeah.
predator style. So he prefers to kind of catch his prey in his web, so to speak. But his web is just like his kind of his headquarters and the surrounding tunnels and areas. And they are kept in such a way where the only things that are kept clean are the things that need to be. And then everything else is like dirty, slimy, humid, inhospitable to anyone else.
Okay.
Because the more anxiety you get there, the better it tastes, ultimately. So yeah, it's like the worst kind of like maintenance tunnel, the worst kind of underground maintenance tunnel, and the only places that are kept pristine are his like coffin, or what he uses as a substitute for one, which I imagine to be like an old packing box of some kind. And the place where he keeps his like armaments, documents, anything that he needs to be good at his job.
So, for a bit of storyteller flavor here, I'm going to propose an idea.
Let's
So,
hear it.
I'm assuming the particular kind of room, I guess, or a couple of rooms that are adjacent to each other that the old man keeps pristine are probably in kind of the center of this like labyrinth like web that you have set up, seeing as how you're the trapdoor predator type. Check out the player's guide for that one. So the old man kind of wakes up. There's not really anything, there's nothing out of place. There's no I slept wrong, so my arm's asleep type thing. There's no like, oh, I'm uncomfortable. When you're asleep during the day, you're basically dead. There's nothing that concerns you. There's nothing that worries you. There's no anxiety, no sleepless nights, no rolling. As soon as the sun comes up over the mountain, that's it. You're done.
Right, but what about my character
Wow.
though? I'm sorry, please.
Okay,
Go.
so the old man, you open your eyes, and then you hear a, man, you should probably fucking eat something. This probably works better with a fake smoke in my mouth. You probably fucking eat something. Jesus Christ.
Is this my beast?
Yeah.
Do I know? Yeah. Then I go. You're right. I know.
That's it? You're just gonna agree with me? For fuck's sakes, what's wrong with you?
I'm tired. That's what's wrong with me.
I'm tired of your fucking not eating.
Yeah, I know. I like knock the like two nails that keep my packing crate of a coffin shut, and just like kind of like knock it open on its hinges. the first thing I do is I grab my coat and I reach inside the like inside pocket and grab my distinctly not smartphone and with the T9 texting, which I've just gotten the hang of. And I text my retainer.
Yeah.
And I say, hungry, send someone.
You get back K, and then there's like a little box with a question mark in it.
I sent back an exclamation mark. Oh yeah. Thank you, Monica. I forgot about that. I send my Google a text that says tabs on an ex Ghoul who was recently let go. Send him my way.
Actually, this will bring up a rather interesting point. Sophia, I was going to come to you next anyway.
Mm.
Are you intentionally wanting to have the old man eat? And by eat, I mean kind of like finger foods and hors d'oeuvres, like to the point of being full, your ex-ghoul. Do you want him to basically be not a ghoul anymore? By not a ghoul anymore, I mean not a human anymore.
Did I not make that clear in the last couple of episodes?
I'm just asking as a storyteller, because this is going to affect whether or not you get humanity stains. Because that's intentionally having someone killed.
It should also be said that I don't just drink blood; I eat organs. I devour them. I I am an organivore by flaw.
Second breakfast.
So it's entirely
Fucking
up to
11sies in this.
11sies.
So I'm gonna say that when Sophia pulled the old man off to the side in episode like 3 or 4 and kind of confided in him that she wasn't wanting any of this, and he basically was like, fucking give in to it.
Yeah.
You know? I think she took that to heart and is willing to go for it a bit more. I think she's starting to realize that she needs to start getting a little bit more cutthroat, and so she's almost ruining one of her best paintings that she's ever done in her life. Calls for this. Yes.
That's my girl.
The old man's getting all misty-eyed down here.
This never happens, I swear to God.
A single blood tear and the old man's cheek.
It hurts to cry.
Yeah, so let's chat could probably remind me later that this will be a humanity stain for Sophia.
It's not a humanity stain for me because that's my whole vibe.
It'll still probably be a humanity stain for you.
I was a killer in life. You understand? Like
Samitsi has more humanity than the Torrid.
Yeah,
I learned it from you.
So,
FBI.
Sophia, you wake up and you are feeling a kind of a tinge of regret.
Oh God, not this again.
And you hear that voice in the back of your head of Sophia.
No.
You should have ate him yourself. What's wrong with you?
You know, that's not how I do things.
Mix him into your paint. Make art out of him.
But that's an honor. That's an honor. He needs pain.
Oh, so now we're having a code.
Ugh. You know, this is terrible business and I hate doing it.
Oh, it's okay. Just get somebody else to do it. It's fine.
I have to go put on a show. It's not going to happen easily.
And eat something. Would
Yes,
you?
yes, yes.
Do you
Fine.
think you can get around to that?
Ugh, if I must.
And that's the last you hear about that. So, how is Sophia waking up?
She is waking up uh like every other time she wakes up, she's pretty much like, you know, like a Disney princess with the birds or bats chirping around her and, you know, singing her on her way to getting herself prepared for the night's events. And on this night in particular, there is no chirping. And she wakes up with the bad case of bedhead.
Coughing head.
Her
Yeah.
makeup is smeared, and as she kind of steadies herself up from her bed, which is a nice like bed with a cover, you know, like those like beds with those like posts and the drapery around them. It's like a shorter version of that, so it's like almost looks like a like see-through coffin almost.
Okay.
With like a nice bedding underneath, and then just like those kind of very sheer things going around. But she's got like blackout curtains around like the windows, so like no light comes through.
Okay.
So she wakes up and she kind of stumbles out, not really sure of herself, feeling hungry, which she hates the feeling of, absolutely hates it. Um, and she goes to the mirror and just kind of like starts tracing the wrinkles around her eyes that are much more noticeable, that the makeup's not in perfect condition, and seeing the stains of the mascara and stuff running down her face, and just kind of nudges the bird's nest that's up on her head and kind of sighs like she's not ready to deal with it. um and she's just kind of like very, very unsure of what direction she needs to go into now.
How does Sophia feel about the revelation that Braden whispered into her ear last episode?
It threw her for such a loop that she again doesn't quite know now, because she was very sure of where she needed to lay her allegiances before. But now it's, if Braden doesn't even trust his own
Guild?
then
Yeah.
that is very, very uncomfortable for her, and now she feels like she, aside from her own coterie, she has no idea who she can trust anymore. And as she was reminiscing the night before, um, she like thinks back to all the people she's left behind um, in years and years past that she wishes she could have near her again. But alas, it's not a luxury we can have.
What is Sophia doing outside of waking up, reminiscing, thinking about the revelation? Is she preparing any art? Is she getting ready to head to the Dark Star? Is what's today's evening ritual look like?
Well, that's the thing, is it's very much not her usual ritual of like primping herself. It's like she's almost like avoiding like making herself look good. And instead she kind of goes over to a closet where a bunch of like papers have been stuffed in there, and she is looking frantically for something. And she's just kind of like, throwing papers out and looking for something. And there's all sorts of sketches and stuff in there. And she like digs deeper and deeper and deeper into this closet until she finally finds the piece that she's looking for. And she holds it up, and it's a portrait of of a young woman, probably around 25 to 30 years old, um, with long dark hair and dark eyes. Um, it's not herself, um, but someone that she misses dearly, and she just kind of like hugs it um,
Who is
for a
this
minute.
portrait of?
It's the portrait of her true love that she lost many, many years ago. Um, yeah, after she was turned, she was in like a collective of artists, very similar to like the group that Braden has. Um, and she had fallen in love with this woman, and she had been like her muse at the time. So she's got tons of drawings and paintings, half done paintings, and that she keeps all in this like the end of this closet where nobody can really see them unless like they dig through.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but after she was turned, she had to like not be around her, to not put her in danger, and was pulled away and could not continue with her. And eventually time moved on, and Sophia stayed the same way she was and had to leave it all behind.
As Sophia is down at the bottom of her closet, the deepest recesses, the hidden parts that are hidden away from everyone else, Antonia, we're going to go over to you. You wake up having made some plans, and you hear in the back of your mind, Antonia,
Yes.
chin up. Let's go. You have to eat.
Mm-hmm.
There's
I will
important
be eating.
business to deal with.
Of course, there's always important business to deal with. Always. All the time. Always. So
This
yes, I will eat.
is more important than the goings on of your little club.
Yes, it is. I will eat. Oczywiście.
And for those of us who don't speak Polish, what does that mean?
Nope. Nope.
Hi, Twitch terms of service. So what does Antonia's night look like this particular evening?
Well, Antonia's getting up and she's pretty frustrated because she kind of wants everything to be perfect for her. You know, she hasn't traveled in a while. She hasn't seen her sire in a while, and she really kind of wants it to be absolutely like the trip to be perfect for, she arrangements to be made for like, you know, for her to wake up all fresh and, revive. Anyway, she's frustrated because obviously, the whole let's put you in coach kind of thing on an overnight flight is not what she was looking for. And she has gone back and let's just say that the people that are involved have been fired. And yeah, so she's getting up and looking through her closet. Normally she's, kind of like rocker girl outfits, but today she's actually like put on a pair of knee-high boots that are like basically red sole. And she's got a suit on like a skirt suit that is all leather. It's northbound, and she's, this is how she's doing it tonight. She's basically going business style, but her style.
Okay. And you, as you're finishing up the donning of the suit, uh, you get a text.
Yes.
Do you check it?
Oh,
Or do
yes.
you
I mean,
ignore it?
sorry.
Ignoring it is totally an option.
No. Ignoring it's generally not an option, so she doesn't. She takes a look.
It is from the same number that your sire generally has their ghoul text from.
Okay.
Made arrangements for you to meet with Victor Davenport, VP, and you know that that is kind of the post Second Inquisition code for not vice president, but that is Ventru Primogen.
Are there details in the message?
Not in that particular message, but you get another message as you're reading through that one, from a number that's clearly a burner phone. And it says, midnight, don't be late, bring coterie.
And it gives me a location.
Yeah. It gives you
Okay.
like this location, let's just say it's obviously in the financial district, so it's
Antonia looks at it. What time is it currently?
It is probably around 7 or 8 at night.
Okay, so Antonia sends kind of a group text to the coterie just saying, have a little meeting for us at midnight. Can we all be at the club by about 11:30? Question mark. And then a heart. Black one.
Let us find out how everybody responds to that after we wake up everybody else in the coterie. So, Violetta. How does Violetta wake up for the evening?
Violetta is someone that unfortunately does not trust her unpaid intern that much.
That's
So
fair.
by default, she always like, well, one, she's always in like silk, like well-made pajamas for no reason, right? She's always in bed with like either a knife under her pillow or by uh her by her nightstand, just out of reflex. If someone comes in, it's just like, you're not gonna get me.
This is Violetta we're talking about. It's probably both, let's be fair.
It is most likely both, yes. Will she admit it? No, but it is.
Will Violetta admit it? No. Will Michaela admit it? Probably.
Absolutely.
So you get a text. And it's from a number that you don't at all recognize.
What does it say?
It says -25.
I do not have a banking app on my phone.
No, you don't.
No,
But
I don't.
the dragon part of your brain would probably kick in at that particular moment and realize that you have 25 days to plan.
I just I take note of the number, but I don't even write anything. I just close it. I'm not dealing with this right now. I need to get up. I need to look proper. I can't have a Joan Crawford moment looking like this. I get up. I just
So what is Violetta going to be transitioning into with instead of the silk pajamas? What's the suit looking like tonight?
She always has a designer suit. Tonight she is wearing all Fendi, but specifically she's wearing an old 80s cut, so it has the big freaking
Yeah.
shoulder pad shoulders on it. She has a huge giant pin. Imagine the scene from Mommy Dearest in the PepsiCo lobby. That's her right now.
That makes sense. And it's probably about that point when you're done sorting out uh, the 80s cut suit that you would get the text from Antonia.
Again, like she sees it, she understands that with this newfangled tech, she likely understands that she sees it. There's no reason for her to reply back like, got you, boss. No. I see it, put it away, and I just try and compose myself for the day because I'm still a little bit angry because I'm petty. Not at Antonia specifically, but I'm petty. My name's Petty LaBelle.
Petty LaBelle.
Yes, thank you.
And on that note, Key.
Yellow.
Key's waking up. I'm assuming usual place.
Yes, back home.
Back home. I'm assuming you're also doing the usual.
I gotta
the
put
altar?
I have to put my makeup on.
Okay.
Blood everywhere. But out of character question.
Go ahead.
When Valeska left, was the last thing Valeska really let me know was that there's like one other person?
There's one of they claim that there was just one other person.
Okay.
That's storyteller speak for I'm not gonna tell you exactly right now.
Cool. Just gonna put that in italics in my notes. But shoot, did he have somewhere to be today, or was it? It's not. I'm asking storyteller.
No.
Okay, that's what I don't think anything was happening tonight for me. Okay, cool. He is going to do their, prayer stuff at the altar, and then, as they always really do, they basically just wake up, check their phones to see if the old man had texted them, or if Antonia needed anything, and then just end up probably walking around. And I don't feel very hungry today, so.
As
No
you're walking
snacks.
around,
Uh-oh.
that's when you get the text from Antonia.
Has anyone responded at that point?
I don't believe so. Yeah, we've only covered Violetta getting the text, so yeah, we don't know if anyone else has responded yet. But this would be like pretty much instantaneously after you get it.
He's gonna send back the gif of Elmo in front of the fire.
Sorry, what's a GIF?
I think it's the things that mom use.
I can literally break down this entire argument and prove why it's called GIF. We are not having this conversation right now.
We're not having this conversation.
We're
It's too
not
long
having this
of a conversation.
right?
It is a very long conversation, and
If you do want to hear it,
we will have this
Go to
conversation
go to
on
Patreon.
Discord.
Yeah, go on Patreon.
So you're sending GIF?
GIF, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Uh,
I just send that back. And my plan is like I'll go to get there by 11:30. I don't know what time I'm waking up right now, but if it's a while till then, I'm just
the
floating
way
around.
that's an interesting particular point, actually. For everybody playing the home game, not only do I do the old LARP rule of 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. is when the sun goes down, and then the sun comes back up, due to the fact that if we went by actual like time that when the sun goes down, when the sun comes up, we'd never actually get anything done in the summer.
Yeah.
We wouldn't record until like 9 p.m. PST. I also go by an interesting rule with regards to humanity and waking up. So if you have a humanity rating on your character sheet of 7, you wake up pretty much, around about 6 p.m., 6:05, somewhere around there. The less your humanity is, by a half an hour, the later you wake up.
Ooh.
So if your humanity is 6, you wake up at 6:30. Your humanity is 5, you wake up at 7. The further down your humanity goes, the later you wake up, because the closer to the beast you are, and the beast is kind of a lazy asshole. But if you have higher humanity than 7, you wake up before the sun goes down by the same kind of half an hour tracker.
Huh.
What is Key's humanity? Just for people playing the home game.
6.
So you wake up at 6:30.
Yes.
Key is a bit of a late riser.
It's about to get even
Amazing.
later.
I love that home rule so much. That's really
It's so nice.
that's really dope.
So Key has sent the GIF. Sophia, how does Sophia respond to that particular text? It comes to you. Did you bring your phone? This is an interesting storyteller question. Did you bring your phone into the closet and digging around with you, or did you leave it outside of the closet?
It stayed in the bed,
Okay.
and which Key wouldn't notice that usually Sophia is very, very quick to respond, and the fact that she wasn't the first to respond enthusiastically is strange.
I think at this
So
point, pretty much everybody would kind of clue into that, is be like, okay, what's going on? Because
yeah.
usually Sophia would be having the phone at the ready, as they say.
And so it, again, because the phone is still in the place where I sleep, probably nestled into, the sheets and pillows and stuff, it would probably, and I usually would not have it on like full volume, so it would be vibrating into, softness, so it probably wouldn't be heard until, and I wouldn't probably respond until I was finished with my probably cry session.
What is Sophia's humanity?
8.
So you would have woken up a half an hour before the sun went
Yeah.
down. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do here. I'm gonna get you to do a roll
Okay.
of basically the art roll, whatever you think that would be, like dexterity and crafts, I believe was what we had for you.
My performance is higher than my craft, actually.
Okay, so would
Dexterity and
be,
performance.
yeah,
Okay.
for the, like, how well your character drew the portrait that you were
Oh
holding.
yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna play around with the rules a little bit here.
Give me a moment because I just realized I switched up my dice for D&D and did not change them back.
Okay.
Let's see.
So while you're
Is
doing that,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need 2 more.
yeah. The old man, while that's happening, you receive the text from Antonia.
Yeah, I sent back just like a 10-4, and how far into my meal would I be? I guess it may not have arrived yet.
If you could quiet your screaming down for just 1 second, I need to take this.
Yeah. Be quiet. Yeah,
It was just your liver. Get over it.
Silence. Anyway, yeah. No, yeah, I'll if my meal hasn't arrived yet, I'll say eating, be there soon. Otherwise, if it has arrived, I will finish my meal and say I'll be there.
All right. Sophia, how's that roll going?
4 successes and 3 failures.
For the 3 failures, was any of those on hunger?
Yes.
How many?
2.
Okay. So yeah, probably wouldn't be. You have other particular portraits of the person, but this one is one that I'm guessing Sophia probably would have gravitated more towards, because this isn't Sophia's best work of this particular subject. So if you hug it to yourself, if you crinkle it up, if you cry bloody tears into it, if your mascara somehow rubs off on it, then it's no massively huge loss to you.
I will say that, especially as an artist, it's less about the actual drawing itself and the memory of when it was drawn or painted.
Yeah.
Like, because for me, like personally, whenever I'm drawing or painting something, whatever I'm listening to or the moment that's happening at the time kind of becomes engraved in my memory. So whenever sometimes I look back at my own sketchbooks and paintings and stuff, I'll get like almost like if I was listening to something, it's almost like an audio recording that as soon as I look at the piece, it's like watching or hearing whatever was going on at that time again. So I think Sophia would have that same kind of uh, association where it's almost like it's a recording of that moment in time, less than it is specifically about the actual drawing of her.
And that's pretty much what I was going to be describing happening. So you have 4 successes on that.
Yeah.
So it's almost concerning for the rest of you, because Sophia is generally within seconds, if not, a few minutes of responding to pretty much anything in the group chat. For every success that you got, Sophia, that's going to trigger the Toreador kind of bliss out to beautiful art things. You find yourself lost in that moment when you were drawing it. And for every success you got, kind of like the humanity thing, a half an hour slides by. So Sophia is lost in the beauty of the muse of this piece. You can remember what you were doing at the time, the music you were listening to at the time, all of the kind of like even subtle details that you would have ignored at the time. Sophia vividly can now remember that. And Sophia comes to her senses 2 hours later.
She finally kind of comes out of the moment and kind of takes a look around, realizes she's in the middle of this closet and can't tell what time it is. She puts everything down and tries to like gingerly, neatly put things back away. But like feeling just kind of like she kind of lost it and is now being like, shit, there's like a crinkle there and a wrinkle there. Anyway, so she's just kind of like, trying to put it back as gingerly as possible. And she finally just kind of like somewhat prims herself and goes back. And then she realizes when she gets out of the closet that, oh my God, my phone is not in my hand or anywhere near me. And she kind of like runs to the her makeshift bed coffin and goes to like patting the the bed to see where did it go and finally gets a hold of it.
Yeah, there's like I'm assuming Sophia is probably the type that sets it up so that even if you put it on silent, there's like the flash of the light on the back whenever you have a message.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's probably happening.
Okay. She finally grabs it and looks at the text and isn't really in the mood to go out, which is again very unusual for her. But understands that this is probably more important than just the usual outing and just solemnly responds, Kay will be there, which is very solemn for her usual enthusiastic texting, and goes to get herself ready and go out to meet at the Dark Star.
And at that point, it's a good time to take a bit of a break while everybody's heading towards the Dark Star. So come on back in about 7 minutes, everybody. But first, a word from our sponsor. Welcome back, everyone. And we are going to probably fast forward everybody to arriving at the Dark Star. Unless anyone has any pressing kindred business to get around to before we head over there. Anyone? Key? Anyone?
Antonia will have eaten before anybody got there.
I've eaten as well. I've hinged my job back into place, so I'm good.
Did I get singled out for a reason? Because now I'm scared. Did I forget something?
No, me as a storyteller, would I single anyone out?
F. Well, I don't know what I was supposed to do, so Key has no idea and is gavilanting towards the club.
Okay. Sophie and Violetta as well.
Yes, but not after giving an extensive list of what to do for my ghoul. Just like, you need to get this done by tonight.
There's a lot of nodding.
I'm putting you on a cap.
Sophia will probably be the last to get there because she spent too long trying to do her eyeliner and it's still not straight and even, and she's pissed about it.
That's good thing we're not meeting with any other Toreadors this evening, as far as I know.
No, she's wearing sunglasses at night.
Oh,
Oh no.
There's some CanCon for you. Little Corey Hart for everybody. No, nobody. Okay.
That's what I
Yes,
was
yes,
going for.
me, but
Yes.
I was on mute, but yes, 100% yes.
Don't make me start referencing Snow. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, we don't have any informers for our coterie, so.
Wow. And on that note, pretty much everybody goes in their regular way into the Dark Star. It's getting on to be about 11:30 when Antonia asked you all to be there. So what does everyone do upon arriving in the VIP?
They will basically see Antonia in one of the booths. She's just kind of like wiping her lips and redoing her makeup. And you can see like a little bit of blood here because she's just finished eating. And she, grabs a little napkin, puts it down, and says, "Hello."
I want to make a canon that he would have waited outside the club and used unseen passage and tried to like scare the old man for a second when he first showed up.
The old man doesn't go in through the front entrance.
Well, not the way.
Never does.
Oh, do you go through a back way or
I
our
go
VIP
through-
entrance?
I go through a back door that leads from from the Dark Star's basement into the underground.
Would I know this?
Likely, yeah.
Yeah,
Then I'll go
probably.
there.
Okay.
Recon that quick story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the old man comes through the gate that Potence is semi-required to get through.
Mm-hmm. My let's see, what would my like equivalent to perception be?
It would be a wits and awareness.
Wits and awareness. All right. What do I have to roll to not get snuck up on?
Considering Key is using obfuscate, pretty damn high.
It's just a fun little game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get punched. This will be great.
And
Dodge
when I eat my hunger goes down to 1, right? Unless I eat those death.
Are you going for the full Capri Sun? That's the question.
I like
every time.
Yeah.
Throw it away.
Down
Yeah.
to the very last drop.
Bring it out. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. As
if you're drinking everything from that particular human, then yes,
I'm eating organs. It's kind of hard not to.
Well, yeah, you're going above and beyond, I would say. So this is you're down to 0 hunger. You don't have any hunger right now.
Okay.
I already gave you Did I give you a humanity stain yet?
I think you said I might. So
okay, yeah,
you're going to confirm that
for
now.
Sure you do.
Right. Thank you.
What were his last words?
I don't let them talk.
Just
it's more that like kind of hearing the screams and the wails and things is like it's kind of like an annoying. So I kind of like do them in first and then eat.
I'm just imagining that like terrible orchestra
I prepare
song.
my meal. I prepare it beforehand, as it were.
And for everybody in the chat, F in the chat for Brad.
Yeah.
Bye, Brad. Okay, so I'm not rolling any hunger die on my wits and awareness, which is, guess what?
Ugh.
5 dice.
You can always rouse.
I know I can.
I don't know if that's another kind of rule that I kind of have in place where it's like if you don't know something's coming, then you can't really rouse for like a perception type thing. Like
boom roasted.
So that's
Unless it's like a traditional way that the old man comes into the Dark Star, just rousing your wits. Just
Ooh.
be like, I don't know what's gonna happen. There's gonna be some vampire shit. Gotta be prepared.
two
Feds,
two
bitch, the feds.
successes. Two
Two successes.
successes. One of them is a 10.
That is just the two. So
Okay.
yeah, you think it's the Dark Star. You've been here like a billion times, so
Mhm.
you know you coming in the regular way. Key, are
Okay.
you jumping out of obfuscate?
He basically waits till the old man is like about to pass them and then comes back into the view and just is like, boo.
He doesn't know the conversations I've been in or
No.
like the mind state I'm currently in or anything
No.
like that, right? Okay. Based on my wits and awareness check, would I recognize the voice right away, or am I gonna draw my gun?
Either way, they take you. The key takes you by surprise, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I draw my gun right away.
Where do you aim, said Yun?
I don't open fire. You can never shoot until you see the reds of their eyes. But yeah, probably at their head, which I feel sorry about immediately. But yeah,
I feel like that wouldn't face Key at all either. He would just be like, same look, just
I say not a good day for Kate.
Key just like lets you walk past them and kind of under their breath, like they're like, not a good day.
Any idea what's happening up there?
No, I haven't gone up. I've been waiting here for like 30 minutes.
That's time you could have spent finding shit out. You know that, right?
Finding what out?
I hit the door like in the right spot, so like, and then like, and kind of open it up, like after you.
He does this like broken curtsy and then just walks.
Violetta, are you taking a ride there, or are you walking?
I'm not walking anywhere.
That's what I figured. Yeah, you get dropped off out front.
I just tip in.
Oh, thank you. Should I be back? Come back to this?
Yes.
Okay. When do you need me?
Get when I call for you.
Gotcha.
Do what I assigned you to do.
Sure.
I'm putting you on a corrective action plan otherwise.
He's gonna shut up because he doesn't know what that means.
He's going to figure it out soon.
The
So you're-
same road as Brad.
So you're heading
I
upstairs.
might. Oh no! Listen, I'm waiting. That's why. Why do you think I'm waiting to like up my protein? You think it's just for goofs and laughs? No.
I mean, upping your protein is as messy as for goofs and laughs, really. And Sophia, you are the last to arrive.
Mm-hmm. She walked to delay and procrastinate. And she just kind of like comes in through the back, like the coterie entrance, instead of making a grand entrance through the front as she usually likes to do.
Okay.
And just kind of tries like just looks like she just doesn't have the energy and just tries to be as nondescript as possible, knowing that she's the last one in, and like not really acknowledging it and just waiting for everybody else to start going off about what's going on. Sunglasses still on.
Besides Sophia, does anybody else, I guess besides Sophia and the old man thus far, when Key walks in, does anybody else look like pretty severely under stress?
Perpetually angry, but that's
That's
you know.
usual.
Yeah.
That's your whole vibe. Like, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary.
Thank you. That's so sweet of you.
I mean,
Nothing
outside of
but love.
being a vampire, that's pretty much like par for the course for being a lawyer. So
Constant bitch.
Did Joanna, did you say Antonio did?
Antonia's under stress because of this meeting that's coming up, so
Yep.
she's just like very not particularly happy.
Good to know. Good to know. Key takes note of this.
So basically, to answer your question, I think everybody is under stress. This particular
Except for
point.
Key.
Except for Key.
Not a care in the world.
Is that what we're gonna go with on that one?
Not a care in the world.
Apparently, yes. Okay. So everybody is arrived at Darkstar.
Yes.
Antonia, I'm assuming you're going to be letting everybody know where you're going.
Well, yes. So once everybody gathers and, Antonia's said her hello, she basically just starts talking. So you remember how we need to meet up with the Ventru and actually, go to them and ask them what the hell they're doing and what's going on, much like we did with the other clans. Remember that?
Yeah.
Apparently, the Ventru Primogen wants a meeting with us at midnight. It's just around the corner. Vancouver's financial district isn't very large, so it's just around the corner at his office. Um, I'm not particularly happy about going because I'm not really prepared for this, but I'm going to put on a brave face and I am going to do my very, very best. And all that I'm asking is that nobody antagonize the Ventru. Please. I think that I can speak for both myself and Violetta when I say that antagonizing either of our clans is probably a really, really bad idea. Because mine will destroy you financially and basically and you'll be run out of the city and Violetta's will probably eat you. Is that about right, Violetta?
Outright.
All right.
Well,
That
I mean,
or
so-
else they'll get some
the-
lower clan to do their work for them. Either or.
the financial part isn't a thing I'm concerned about, and the eating part is a thing that I've been hired to do in the past, so I think we're all right.
All right. And I trust all of you. You know that, right? I trust that all of you, I'm just putting it out there. I'm really stressed. I am sorry. But if we could, if anybody needs anything to drink, eat, speak with Suzette, and then perhaps we can be on our way in a few minutes.
Sophia just goes straight down to Suzette at that.
Right. So, what are you ordering from Suzette?
Suzette, darling, just give me your finest on tap.
We just got some 92 in.
Oh, perfect. Lovely. Just pour it in whatever the biggest glass you have, please.
Yeah, I don't think you want us to do that.
And why not?
All right. So they dip down below the bar. And it's one of those like kind of like you pull out the thing and hit the button. It doesn't
Mhm.
actually mix with anything like it would if it was like soda water type thing.
Mhm.
And then she comes up with a big sort of goblet thing, like is you would put like a whole bunch of umbrellas in, like a bachelorette party type thing. Like, yeah.
Does she have the umbrellas in there?
No.
Suzette,
Hmm.
umbrellas?
Right. And she gets out a bunch of like umbrellas and puts them into the drink.
And for the first time of the night, Sophia is mood has lifted just a tiny bit,
It's the umbrellas.
and she just carries it gingerly back up to the VVIP room. And she just kind of like sits in the corner with still holding it like this with just mouth on straw.
Yeah. There's an abundance of metal straws in the Dark Star. So there would be at least a few metal straws in there.
And she just kind of has that kind of like slightly blissful look in her eye as she's gulping it down.
Your hunger goes back down to 1.
Old man, how was your dinner?
It was good. It was fast.
Good.
You see
Oh,
that um that like I look a little bit like I look sated and satisfied, but I look a little more gaunt. My cheeks are a little bit more pronounced and just like a tiny bit less human, as it were.
As someone who likes to draw sunken cheekbones.
Well, here's hoping it helps.
Good luck. Good luck to all of us.
are we about ready to go?
I'm ready.
If we must.
All right.
Likewise.
All right. And Antonia leads the way through the back through the coterie door because she, is mindful of the old man wanting to keep a very low profile. And then Storyteller, how far away roughly is this from?
It's like maybe 2 or 3 blocks from where you are.
Yeah. So, she turns around and says to Violetta, "I, I apologize. It is so close that it's not really even worth an Uber. Are you okay with that, Violetta?"
I'm content.
Perfect. That's all I can ask. And
Yeah.
start walking.
Yeah, you go through the what little section of the gas town that is there between you and the financial district. And it's like a block or two into the financial district. And it's a not a massively huge building, but it's definitely at least 20 stories. It's one of the kind of all glass towers, brand new build, not too long ago, maybe 5 years it went up. And it has like a Agamemnon Industries on the side. And you go to the front desk And it's almost like the security guard is not necessarily ignoring you. There's the odd time when any one of you looked over and they're keeping an eye on you, but they're being kind of cautious. So
Antonia walks straight up to the security guy or the concierge. Here for Victor Davenport.
midnight. Yes.
Yes.
The elevator's on the left. 20th floor.
All right. Thank you. Antonia gestures over to the elevator to the coterie.
Everyone
Follow.
proceeds.
Follow.
I do. Yeah. Kind of holding up the back, but yeah, I go.
So you all make your way over to the elevators. You hit the button. Takes a couple of seconds. The elevator opens, and one of the security guards that was there, basically, they don't walk up like right behind you as in like part of the group or anything, but as soon as the doors close, you can kind of see them walk up, almost as if they were preparing to do something outside of the elevator. And they had a key card in hand, so anyone who's worked in an office building knows that, you swipe a key card for certain floors to get up there. You hit the 20th floor. It takes a while to go up. The music is fucking horrible. It's like the weirdest mashup of Sixpence None the Richer and just like The Cure that you've ever heard. Yeah, I said that. I said what I said. I'm not going to take it back. And, the floor, it dings on the 20th floor. The doors open up to something that almost looks like they went to like the Greek Parthenon and just there's like marble kind of statues and pillars everywhere. There's like a extremely polished marble floor, and as the doors open, it's kind of a large kind of semicircle that you're walking into. You walk in from basically the flat side, and on the far side there's two doors, and there's another concierge desk that's there, and someone who is like tall, mildly male presenting, like kind of androgynous, and like they've got close cut hair. They're in a business suit. It's like a tan suit, white. Like everything looks kind of brand new almost, but like extremely well kept and pristine. What do you all do upon exiting the elevator?
Sophia mutters under her breath as they exit. I guess the saying is true. You really can't buy taste, can you?
Let's not
I-
insult them in their house.
I said it under my breath.
I will
Maybe
say if
keeping-
Key heard that, they definitely like chuckled and immediately looked over. Probably seen Antonia's face like
So without getting into any PvP, I would hope at least. As Antonia's probably leading the group, and she would hear Sophia behind her, and she would pause for a second with her big boot and just kind of like backing up, back her heel of her boot very lightly on Sophia's toe, just enough so that it's felt, but it's not going to crush her foot.
I don't
Noted.
say anything. I wait to activation later.
Noted.
I don't say shit because I understand the elders are scary.
How does
He
Sophia?
just also gained a lot of respect for Sophia.
How does Sophia react to that?
Oh, Sophia understands, and
Okay.
she had to get one in before before having to play nice. But Sophia's kind of in a dejected kind of like, what is this all for anyway? In the grand scheme of things, so fucking fight me. I don't care right now. Kind of mood. So she's definitely knew she was pushing it and will play as nice as possible for the rest of the night.
Okay. As you all walk over, the person that is behind the desk, it looks like they're basically checking like a tablet. They Antonia.
Yes.
Excellent. You're late.
Antonia checks her watch.
It is 10 minutes to midnight.
Antonia looks at him, raises an eyebrow, and says, I apologize for our tardiness.
I'm not the one you have to apologize to.
Of course.
And
of
they
course.
turn on their heel and walk over to the large kind of double doors, and they open one of them, and they kind of lean in and they announce your presence. And we have not quite established this particular thing as of yet, but to the rest of you, you've never heard it. To Antonia, this has been drilled into your head constantly. And they announce Antonia and your last name, which I don't want to massacre. They announce child of, child of, child of, and these are all full names. Until they get to a very important name. And what name is that?
That would be Hardstad.
That would be Hardstad. And then you can hear from the other side a very, it's not faint as in they seem to be speaking quietly. It's a faint as in they seem to be pretty far away from where the door is, and you can hear them say, enter. And the person who was at the front desk says, and guests.
Antonia leans over and says, Violetta Tremblay of Clan Zamisi, Sophia Delacour of Clan Shamir, or is that Shamir? The Toreador. Toreador.
Yeah, we're gonna give them that one. We're gonna give them that one. 'Cause there's a cattail in my face. So.
Key of the clan ministry, old man of Clan Nosferatu.
So you go through the doors then?
Yeah.
You go through. Go ahead.
Antonia just assumes that everybody behind her knows that this is like the procedure. She's not going to like gesture to them to go in because she assumes that the coterie knows that, this is kind of your cue to go in.
So Antonia goes through the door?
Yes.
Okay. On the other side of the door, you see a large room, which you can only figure on the outside of the building from like kind of the dimensions that the outside of the building has. And there's a cat that's getting like directly in between me and the mic. So there we go. You figure that this particular, I won't even call it an office, takes up probably about a quarter of the floor space. And it is kind of a longish hallway with a large stone table. Could be extremely, like, just kind of thick hardwood. And there's seating for probably about 5 or 6 people on either side. And at the far end, you can see someone standing there, kind of brown hair. It's kind of longish. It seems to be pulled back in a ponytail. They're wearing a suit. And they stand up when you walk in the door. Ah, Antonia.
Mr. Davenport, such a pleasure to see you.
I apologize. I've been meaning to get around to this meeting at an earlier convenience, but, you know, business being what it is, we get around to things when we can.
Of course, understandable.
Please, have a seat with, your coterie and yourself.
Antonia
Sophia.
moves around to sit down.
Sophia slightly curtsies before taking a seat.
Lila's just going to go ahead and sit it down. She's not being rude, but she's very clearly much in line to how he saw her when she was talking to Stanislava, very militaristic how she's walking.
She sits to whatever open seat is next to Violetta.
I swear to Christ. I swear to Christ. Swear to Christ.
She
We
wants
weren't
front
in
row
public
seats.
right now.
The old man.
Like a very like curt but very obvious like head nod, not like a very formal bow, but just like a, you know, like the kind of like head nod that like, you know, black people give other black people on the street, and then I sit down.
It is returned, and as soon as everyone takes a seat, that is when he himself sits down. And Antonia, you would know this from basically being a Ventru. You would have been, in this particular instance, you would have been kind of instructed by your sire to take the seat that is directly to the right of the person who is presiding on the meeting. So he sits down, readjusts, does like the Picard pull. So it appears your coterie and Clan Ventru have a domain that is next to one another.
It does appear so.
I also understand that you've been having meetings with other clans.
We are a coterie of many clans, and we have been discussing various arrangements with other clans. We would like to keep the peace.
Oh, where are my manners? Does anyone have any preferences for food?
Antonia says, "Thank you, I appreciate that. I just ate quite full."
I'll take egg negative. We got a negative?
You can hear snapping. He raises his hand, and someone comes along with a really expensive looking silver kind of tray. And it's one of the square ones. They put it out right beside Key, and they kind of slide it over slowly. And there are goblets on it. There are a bunch of different goblets. And there's a little kind of folded card in front of it, and it has a number, which generally is, if these were years with the little apostrophe in front of it, you'd probably guess that each goblet, there's basically ranges in age between 20 and 35. And then there is a bunch of letters behind it, and there's definitely a negative in that assortment.
They'll just look around until they find the negative one. And they'll do a little like, ooh, and then take that goblet.
Sophia's gonna take the oldest vintage.
That would be, yeah, the one that is on the furthest to the right. So after Key takes theirs, it is slid to Sophia, and Sophia
Sophia just kind of like doesn't break from looking at Davenport and just hand out, brings it to her without ever breaking contact.
and the tray basically gets walked around to the rest of you as well, to Violetta.
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
To the old man.
I don't say anything. I just hold my hand up in a, like, again, curt
There's a the person that's bringing it around is dressed almost exactly like you would assume that a butler would look like. Kind of thinnish hair, the suit. They even have the towel draped over their arm, and they bring it to Antonia next.
Antonia looks at it, and she's already said that she is full. So she just thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate the hospitality, but I am quite full.
There is a nod, and then they step back from the table, and you see Victor Davenport nod to them, and then they turn and leave. So, what are we going to do?
Pardon my ignorance on this, but you'll have to be more clear, Mr. Davenport. What are we to do about what exactly?
Well, I would have assumed that you would have reached out and contacted me first.
I did. I guess that message took a while to get to you, unfortunately. I wanted to make sure it got passed through the right people.
It did indeed.
And so, unfortunately, it took a little longer to get to you than I had originally anticipated. I mean, obviously, the first thing that I wanted to do when I heard that we had received a domain such as this is um, make sure that my clan was aware of my desire to speak with them.
You are of Clan Ventru. You can come to me at any point in time. There's no need for such formality.
I apologize. My upbringing may have prevented me from um, more casual meetings. with such an esteemed leader such as yourself.
That is understandable. You have an interesting sire, and I know them. They are capable.
Antonia is trying to get a read on what he means by capable.
Give me a wits and insight.
Here's the thing.
Oh, I know.
No.
But I'm not using a discipline.
You are not.
So I should be okay.
Yep.
I think. No penalties? Okay.
No, not for this.
All right.
What?
He's waiting. He's
Yeah.
waiting. That statement?
Not for this. He said that in
Not-
italics.
Yeah.
Cursive.
Two successes?
2 successes. I didn't rouse, so.
He seems to be using words that have dictionary definitions.
Antonia turns to him and says, "Yes, my sire was carefully chosen by her
Indeed.
sire and their sire before them."
I'm very familiar with your lineage. And I've had dealings down through the generations. So, I think we should make a deal.
I'm willing, myself and my coterie are willing to discuss various terms and conditions. So please let us know what it is that you wish to discuss. And my associate here, Ms. Tremblay, is actually a lawyer, so I'm fortunate in that regard because that is not my strong suit. So we will be obviously looking at any contracts very carefully.
Oh, we are well aware of Miss Tremblay's reputation. Oh, I seem to have forgotten something else. Jeeves and the butler person comes back in. This time with the tray, but it has a extremely well-made, ornate wooden box on it. And they walk directly over to Violetta, and they put the tray down in front of you, and they flip it open, and it is full of, and Violetta would know this, the most expensive cigars.
Nicaragua. He got them from Nicaragua. I know because I just bought them. I know I just bought them, you asshole. Pleasure. Where's the contract?
I don't actually have one yet.
Hmm.
We are in the pre-negotiation stage.
If I may excuse myself and ask you a question, what stage were you in when you met with Clancy the other night?
I didn't actually
Antonia
meet.
looks at Violetta out of the corner of her eye, not turning her head, just out of the corner of her eye. Like, what the fuck?
That was the exact same stage.
So you came to two members of Clancy without a written up formal agreement?
Yes. We Ventrue and the Zemissi are going back and forth at the moment. The
I got
representative of Zemissi, Stanislava, she They are very capable. They are set in their ways, I believe would be the best way of describing it. They prefer things written in things written by hand, I guess, as opposed to things printed out on computer paper or electronically.
May I? This is out of character. I need to. I want to roll to make it seem like I'm not getting that much out of Stanislava either. I'm just ignorant. You can
Okay.
trust me more so because I'm ignorant. What?
That would probably be, let's go with a manipulation in politics.
Okay.
As she's doing that, Sophia just pipes up, going, "Oh, but calligraphy is such a beautiful art. I'm glad someone is keeping
May
it
I
alive."
search?
You can search,
May
yeah. How many successes, Violetta?
6.
6?
6 on
Okay.
correct.
You're pretty sure that they wouldn't be able to tell. And as Sophia said, the calligraphy statement, Victor Davenport, there's a breath, like a split second, and then he goes, "Yes, we honestly haven't used our calligraphy people in quite some time. They're a little, let's say, under practice."
I will say no more. If you need someone to lead a workshop, I'm all free.
We will likely take you up on that.
She nods.
Permission Davenport. You'll have to excuse my permission's behavior. It is something even I myself am uncomfortable with, if that can even describe what I feel towards my clan at this very moment. You have to understand that being Clan Samitsi, having to rule and be subdued within the Sword of Cain, has made us comfortable in the position we were in. We have found ourselves very much akin to isolationists in our approach when it comes to other clans. In that sense, I am not very much surprised that you did not get far with your dealings with Primogen Stanislava. However, as to that matter, I myself, even as a neonate within the clan, have found it to be unsightly how she handles herself, not just with others within the court, but also within our own clan. It leads to an atmosphere of distrust. Such distrust has led to a severe lacking in what I believe to be our organizational skills and our success, which has led us to flounder and flail around, no more better than that of a child. It is a shameful display. However, I'm being very sincere with you when I admit to you that I would like some form of change and perhaps some more insight to see where my own clan is failing and where perhaps we can improve, where the old ways remain stagnant and ingrained within our very clan, almost as if it was the dirt we were born in.
He nods at the end of your statement, and he then says, "You are a credit to your clan. It's a very new school way of saying that. So, if it is agreeable to you all, we will have something sent to you within the next day or so with regards to what we would like and what we are willing to offer in return.
That sounds agreeable. And I hope that the other members of our clan can see that myself and my coterie are dealing in good faith and only in the best interests of everybody involved. We want Vancouver to remain a peaceful city without as much aggression as there could be if this were all to go sideways.
But of course, the Camarilla must survive.
Of course.
So, if you don't have any further business,
I myself do not. I feel that we have taken care of the business that we need to take care of. Um, does anybody have anything that we should discuss with Primogen Davenport here? She looks at each of the coterie members um, just carefully, like anybody.
does anyone bring anything up?
He's just looking at Sophia.
I already aired my laundry. I'm fine.
If nobody is going to respond, then
I do. Um, uh, I respond. Um, uh, the old man says that draw up your contracts as you will, with the understanding that terms have already been made with the Nosferatu clan, and those terms shouldn't interfere with anyone else's. But should your contract butt heads with those terms, you will be made to know promptly.
We have also made a deal with Clan Nosferatu. I can only assume that it is the same or similar deal as to what your coterie has made.
I can't imagine it being otherwise.
We will include that deal along with the proposal that we put forth so that you can compare if it infringes upon any dealings you have made with Clan Nosferatu. You can bring it up in our dealings back and forth, and we can readjust the contract from there.
Understood.
So, if that is all,
I suppose I should let you know that Clan Toreador has also approached us, but we have not yet made a decision.
well, here's hoping that we make a better deal.
of course
He nods.
we will take everything into account. Primogen Davenport, we thank you for your hospitality this evening. We hope that we will have a chance to speak with you again very soon, and we look forward to the delivery of your documents. And Antonia stands up, nods her head because she sure as fuck isn't going to be bowing or curtsying or doing any of that shit. Nods her head and makes her way away from the table.
How does everyone else make their way?
Sophia sets the empty goblet back onto the table. Thank you for the wonderful meal. And follows suit with Antonia.
He nods.
Same vibe. I stand. I adjust my coat. Head nod. I'll step back from my chair and wait for Key and Violetta to stand as well, and I will follow after.
Key and Violetta.
I would say
Violetta.
go.
No.
I know.
No.
I kept watching. It looked like you were about to say something, so I wasn't saying anything.
No.
I would say that Key stood up right after Sophia did, but then saw Sophia put the cup back down, and Key's like holding the goblet in both hands, and looks at the head of the table. You want this back?
You can keep it if you want it.
It's beautiful. I would love it. Thank you so much. And smiles, and two hands turns around.
Violetta, how are you going to follow that one up?
He asked.
Violet-
Honestly, Key should get some props for this.
Yeah, seriously.
Violetta's just going to stand up and she's going to say, I hope in the future I can offer a better alternative and perhaps recompense for previous treatment that you have felt from my clan. And at that, she just walks away.
Antonia,
Yes.
a moment.
Absolutely. Thank you. She comes back.
Sophia kind of has that look on her face like, oh, she's in trouble.
The androgynous person kind of walks up to you all as you make your way and kind of doesn't push you out the door, but just kind of makes it known that it's time to leave and pulls the one door closed. And as soon as you all exit, closes the other door behind you and stands there with their hands behind their back, basically
Question.
against the door. Go ahead.
Hold on. Sorry, what's the share this? Can I share senses with Antonia?
You certainly can.
So at the mention of Davenport asking her to stay, at that moment I sense a bit of danger on my part, and I'm gonna try and share the senses with Antonia.
Okay.
Do I have to contest that?
Give me 1 sec. I am actually looking up the rule now.
Because if I don't have to, I'm probably not going to. I probably would be used to Sophia doing this and not really giving a shit.
Well, if you don't want to contest it, we can just run it with just the rouse check, and then Sophia would be sharing senses with you.
That sounds good.
You good? Okay, so Sophia, that would be a rouse check.
That's just one.
100 dice.
Yeah. That's a success.
Okay, so you are now sharing senses with Antonia.
Mm-hmm.
Victor kind of ushers you to, motions you to join him at the head of the table. I have no doubt you've heard at this particular juncture that we opposed your coterie getting domain.
Yes, I did. Respectfully, it was a bit disappointing.
I have nothing but respect for your lineage. I have had many dealings with your, not your sire per se, but your people of your lineage. I'm sure you're also familiar with prestation, so I don't need to get into all of that. That objection was a favor.
Please continue.
Alexander Devonshire did a favor for me in the past. I owed him one.
So Alexander Devonshire, did he clarify to you why he wished you to object?
He did not. Favors being what they are, I wanted this particular slate clean. I do not like owing favors, so I wanted that gone.
That is understandable. I do thank you for clarifying that, because that definitely puts me in a better mindset when it comes to my clan here in Vancouver, because as you know, this is a new city to me, relatively new, and I had hoped that myself and my clan would be able to at least have a good working relationship. So that at least eases my mind at least a bit on the part of yourself. As to Alexander Devonshire, I suppose I will have to myself find out why there was that objection. But
You're
I thank
free
you.
to you are free to do so within the confines of the prince's laws.
Of course. I wouldn't dream of doing anything that was against the prince's laws.
And if you need things, as much as I loathe owing favors, and he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a silver case, and he flips it open, and he puts down a business card on the table and with one finger slides it over towards you.
Antonia reaches over and, with a very perfectly manicured finger, which mine is not, she pulls it over and takes a look at it. What does it say?
It says Victor Davenport, and there's a number on there that you've never seen before.
Okay.
Come to me direct next time.
Absolutely. I will definitely do so. Thank you. Thank you, Primogen Davenport.
He nods, and at that particular nod, that is kind of indication to Antonia that this meeting's done.
She nods her head and says, "Thank you," and walks away. Puts the card into her purse as she's walking away.
And at that point, it's a good time to end this particular episode with the meeting finished before the cat, who is on the desk when they're not supposed to be, destroys everything. There it is. Nothing but cat ass. All right.
Right on schedule.
Baby.
Oh, this is great. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for any bits or subscriptions you've sent our way. It is always appreciated. The money goes to the folks on screen. Yeah, so we're gonna find somebody to rate out to if we're on Twitch. If we're not on Twitch, you're on YouTube. Thank you for watching. And we're gonna do some quick outros. Let everybody know where you're gonna be, what you're doing, what other YouTubes you might be on. And we're gonna start over here with Alan.
Hello, my name is Alan Williams. And I am like a tabletop content player and producer on the internet. You can find me at QuestKeep on Twitch and YouTube, as well as Second Besties, where we've made some really fun comedy content for you also. And I don't know, stay tuned for more adventures from me in the coming days.
Also, if you're going to Second Besties, check out the Blackula sketch because it's fucking hilarious.
Yes, if you're into vampire stuff, and I assume you are,
I should hope
come
so.
on down and see what I have to say about vampire exploitation film efforts of the past.
And Chris.
Hello. I am Chris, aka D&D Imposter. I'm playing Key, Little Ministry Baby, and you can find me playing the Thera on Heroes of Bastion on Alec the Bard's YouTube, a fun Masks actual play. And your fun animal fact for the session is, in case you didn't know, wombat poop is shaped in cubes.
Huh. Very interesting.
I did know that.
You did?
Yeah.
The reason why is gross. I'm not sharing that part. But
Look it up on your own, guys.
That's why they invented Google, I'm assuming.
Assuming.
Next up, Joanna.
Hello, my name is Joanna. I am Hyrule Gardener on all the socials, and you will find me here playing vampire on with this wonderful, amazing bunch of people.
And next up is Monica.
Hi, Monica here. Monica M_art on all the socials. Find me everywhere else, and you can find my beautiful artwork in this wonderful book, available now wherever books are sold. So go get your copy now. Yeah.
Buy Monica's book, and the link is right over here, but it might be right over here. Could be right here at this point, but I doubt it, so it's probably over here. And last but certainly not least, the resident dragon, representative of the Meat Sea, Michaela.
Hi, my name is Michaela, otherwise known as Cosmic_Dazai. On Twitter, I'm not calling it X, Instagram, and Blue Sky, also Tumblr because I'm sad. You can find me here playing Violetta, but also you can find me in DC doing drag and making people very uncomfortable.
And this guy's Storyteller Steve. So, as mentioned, Twitch and YouTube. If you're watching us for free, it's free. You can watch us for free. That's awesome. We appreciate everybody who watches some of our stuff. But if you want to help us out monetarily, the subscription on Twitch, which is just down below me over here, it is $5 on Twitch, and we get a bunch of that money. But if you have a Amazon Prime account, you can link it to your Twitch, and that gives us some of Jeff Bezos's money. So you definitely want to do that and give it to us. And it's like taking money right out of the billionaire's back pocket. It's great. And if you are over on the YouTube, there's something called members. Members is $3, and we get the majority of that money because Google already has a ton of money, and they just want to give it to us if we become members. So yeah, you could do that, and we put all the money into the players' pockets. So yeah, you can do that, or you can go over to our Patreon, which the link should be right over here. The Patreon helps us out immensely. All you need is $1 to see all of our behind the scenes stuff, all of our session zeros, and you can do $5, which gets you the next episode early. There's only one more episode in this particular season, so you could probably even be watching that right now if you're on YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah, so check it out, and we will find somebody to raid if we're on Twitch. If not, we will see you next week or in a couple minutes if you're on our Patreon. So have a good night, everybody.